Welcome to the MVP Show. Today I speak with another great MVP. Hopefully you'll learn something from them and maybe help you on your MVP journey. With that, let's get on with the show. Today's guest is from the Netherlands. She's the owner of Smart Web and App Services. She's a freelancer, speaker, trainer, Microsoft 365 consultant. She makes an active contribution to the Power Platform community and is one of the leaders of Power Apps for Kids and participates in various Power Apps and Power Automate user groups, conferences, and meetups. You can follow her on Twitter at Michelle Wong, NL, or take a look at her website, 365power.nl. Michelle Wong, welcome to the show.
Hi, Mark.
It's so good to have you again. This is so good. This is the second time we're doing this podcast with you because last time I had a big fail with the audio, so hopefully this will be awesome this time.
No problem at all.
Tell me, like, I noticed that, I think it was at Scottish Summit that you went along, that your daughter went with you. Is she a great artist or something like this?
Yes, that was in Scottish Summit in Glasgow already 2 years ago, just before the Corona crisis. But I was one of the speakers at Scottish Summit, and then it was in weekend. So I thought, yeah, maybe I can take my daughter with me so she can see what her mother is doing, because I went to more conferences the last few years, and then every time she said, "Hey, Mama, what are you doing? Why you are always not at home and outside doing your work?" So I thought it was a good opportunity to let her see from the other side what I was doing. So we created a nice, great weekend for this, and we stay 1 day extra. So we did a shopping also, and then we went back to the Netherlands over that weekend.
And it looks like she had a lot of fun. And of course, I've seen a lot of people have their profile photos even showing the drawings.
Yes. Actually, I didn't notice she can draw that good. But during the community event, she spoke other peoples, and all community friends are very nice and they are very social, and they saw my daughter, so they got to speak with each other. And then she showed her drawings, and it was Ryan. He said, "Hey, can you draw a picture for me, a character or so?" And so from the one comes the other, and she became a little artist during that day. And so and for me it's also good because she can take the time to do things what she like, and I can focus on the speakers event as well.
Tell us about the best thing to do if I was to visit the Netherlands again. What's the must-see places that I've got to go to? What's the food I should eat? And what should I do for fun if I'm in the Netherlands?
In the Netherlands, there are a lot of museums like Van Gogh or Rembrandt. So in Amsterdam, you see a lot of museums. Also, I'm not sure the word. It's wheat in the Netherlands, but it's something like drugs. You can take smokes with it, smoking cigarettes, but it's free. And you can buy it in coffee shops. So there is also a museum of that. So that's very special, I think. At the other sides, there are a lot of sightseeing things like the tulips in the Netherlands, and also you can eat a lot of different foods like the waffle, the Dutch waffle, or herring. They call it herring. It's a kind of fish, but you can eat it with together with onions. So that's normally if people come over to the Netherlands, we will take them to those sightseeing places.
Yeah, the stroopwafels I know are very tasty. Yes, I love them a lot, and oh yeah, there's so many things I love about the Netherlands. I've visited a few times.
Yeah, when I see you, I will take some stroopwafels with me, so I can share some for you.
I love it. I love it. Tell me a bit about how did you get into IT? How did you take a career in technology?
Yeah, actually, I studied for communications and public relations. My study that was my study, but it was a very large of different school topics. So and around that time, it was I think 1993, something like that. And my parents bought a computer for me with internet connections. Of course, very low requirements, etc. But it was enough for me to browse over the internet, and I started building websites in HTML and doing things like that. And I liked it that much, so I was focusing on my the rest of my study. Every time if we when we have some projects and we have to do some brandings or some design, then I took that part for my responsibility, and make myself familiar with creating websites and building websites. And after my study, there was a lot of jobs for looking for a web designer. So I start my job as a web designer, and so I enroll in the IT world with no really programming experience, but just building HTML websites and design.
And how did you end up moving from that into Dynamics 365, the Power Platform, Microsoft 365, all those great things?
Yeah, actually, it was a long path, but I did web designer at first, but then they are asking you to do some more programming beside that. So you will asking for more than only designing websites, right? And it was in around 2000. I started working at a big company, and yeah, how do you say, they teach you, they will set you in other companies to work for them. And it also was SharePoint. SharePoint was one of the documents systems in their company. So I was starting administering that kind of things, and also doing study on that field. And I started doing SharePoint master page templates. So designing also normally from front end, and at the end I start doing more and more in SharePoint. And in 2004, I think there was a big opportunity for me to do something like SharePoint Online. And from that side, I jumped over to Microsoft 365, Office 365, and also playing around with Power Automate. That was my first applications, and first right way to jump into the business applications.
And so what has that led you to? What's the main things you're doing nowadays? Which tools are you mainly using with Microsoft?
The most thing I do is right now is creating flows for customers in Power Automate. Actually, I do it right now daily. And beside that, I also help customers to migrate from their file share to Office 365. I help them and advise them how to administer and how to adapt the Office 365 environment. And after that, they will start thinking about automation and digitalizations. So then in phase two, I say, in phase two, then Power Automate and Power Platforms things will come in on that.
Are you still finding a lot of customers are on premise, or are you seeing most of the customers nowadays are all on or have moved online, to the cloud?
There's a lot of small customers. My company is helping. They are using file server side data, and then most of them will make a move from file server or on premise to Office 365. And then they will ask me to advise and to help them to structure the whole migration. And then there are still some, but not much. We have more customers doing Office 365 things right now.
Yeah, yeah. That sounds right. Tell me about how you came to be to become an MVP.
That's because I was doing I was creating a Power App in my spare time, and I saw a demo of mixed reality from Riza Durrani, and I was starting thinking to do one by myself to make myself familiar with Power Automate. But I was looking for some resources, looking for some 3D animations and models, and then I start building the Power App. But at some point, I getting fixed, so I was reaching to Ariza and asking him, hey, can you help me with this book? And then he said, yeah, it's okay. But after this, you have to join the demo extravaganza. So I promised him to put my Power App into the demo extravaganza, and I did my entry, and I become one of the finalists with my app. And I have also shared this in the community. So in the community kit zones, you can find my the Power Apps that I created. And after that, it was Charles who nominated me as an MVP. After that, so that was my that was the way for me to become an MVP.
So good. How has anything changed? How have you found? Because you're been an MVP you're in your second year now, right? How have you found it becoming an MVP? What changed?
For my work, it's not really changed that much. But for the knowledge, the things you will reach, the information you get from Microsoft, it's that is a step more. You have a lot of opportunities from Microsoft, but also from the communities from other MVPs. To join different sessions, to do things together. They will have different channels and possibilities to ask each others for some help, or doing things together, like or arrange another conferences or another meetup with other MVPs or other persons who are from the community. That are things that you will not get it when you just only few websites or few blogs or do something like that. And and you were making more friends and from all over the world, and if you are in person conferences, so it's just like you seeing an old friends again. It's more than only presenting your skills or teach others information that you have learned, but it's more than that. It's also the social things.
What recommendations do you have for people when they ask, how do I be, I assume, like many MVPs, you get asked, how do I become an MVP? What do I need to do to become an MVP? What recommendations do you give to people?
I think engagement, and try to do a step more than then other than only work. For example, try to engage, try to be a speaker for some fields that you are experienced in. Share your knowledge. Also, on the Power Apps, Power Platform community, there are also a lot of forums, so you can answer questions if you know the answer, how to help others. That also will help. And if you like writing, you can create blogs, write blog posts, and share it in the community or share it with social media. They will also help you become more familiar, and also people will reach out to you if they see a good blog or something that can help them. But I like helping people. So if you like to help other people, so that is also one step forward to reach out, and maybe you will be an MVP afterward if you do a lot of engagement. And
So true. So tell me, what's your focus in the coming up? You know, we're close to the end of the year, heading into next year. What's your focus for the coming year or so?
My focus, yeah, that's a good question. Actually, I'm doing a mentoring session right now. I'm teaching people from Nigeria to learn AI Builder in Power Apps, with Power Apps, and that's from the Textiles group. And beside that, I am thinking about my another Power App project to create another game that I can share with the community again. But I have to get a try and focus. Also, my daughter created a lot of characters and drawings. So I was thinking maybe I can do something with that. So maybe social media or Power Apps things to play with, so I can share it with the community. That's something I would like to do, but I have to think about what is an app that will create more sound and everything will like it, and can have it as something to do. Maybe a quizzes or so, or a little game that you can recognize. Hey, who is this? Who is this guy? and then make a mix and match or so, something like that.
Yeah, I could see that working. Okay, I always like to wrap up with some quick fire questions. You'd be familiar with this. So first of all, would you rather win the lottery or live twice as long?
Win a lottery.
Nice. If you could switch place with one of your friends for one day, who would you choose?
I would choose my friend Suki in Hong Kong, who is living in Hong Kong.
Nice. And the last one, would you rather never read another book or never watch another movie?
Never read another book.
Okay, so you love movies more, eh?
Yes, I love more videos and movies than the reading.
I love it. Michelle, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for inviting me, Mark.
Hey, thanks for listening. I'm your host, Business Application MVP, Mark Smith, otherwise known as the NZ365 guy. If you'd like to support the show, please go to buymeacoffee.com/NZ365 guy. Otherwise, as always, stay safe out there and see you next time.